Just a little nugget about Shedeur yesterday, and I think it's a good sign. I think he got rewarded for working really, really hard and doing a really nice job on everything. And he was able to go out there and go 2 for 3 in that session. He finished it off with 2 completions against some of the best defenders in the NFL. So I just thought that was a really good sign for him.
Breaking news from Cleveland. In a surprising turn of events, Kay Cabot has come forward and acknowledged what many had speculated. Shedeur Sanders is not just holding his own in training camp, he's thriving.
Teammate and all those type of things. How's he doing there?
Well, as far as being a teammate, he's doing a tremendous job with that. And I really like his personality. I've really enjoyed what I've seen and heard from him as a person, as a human being. So that's been really, really cool to watch him.
He's damn good. Yeah. And he can go toe-to-toe with anyone, for sure. I mean, since he came into the league. With
him just earlier in the week when the quarterbacks were going to be talking to us, and I saw that when Jerome Baker was at Podium 2, Shedeur was getting ready to walk out of the field house with 2 members of the PR staff and walk over to Podium 1. When everybody saw him going to Podium 1, a lot of people started walking away. And I saw this was not a PR thing. This was absolutely Shedeur turning to those 2 PR guys, and he said, "I'm not going until Jerome is done." And he didn't do it for the cameras. He didn't do it for show. I just so happened to catch it out of the corner of my eye. And I thought that was really cool. And then, of course, I tweeted it right away in real time. Speeding is one thing, but going 40 miles an hour over the speed limit, actually 41 miles an hour over the speed limit at 12:30 in the morning, when you're in the middle of a 4-way quarterback competition, and when you were also, it seems like, involved with another female driver who was going 92 miles an hour, at the same time you were going 101, that's reckless behavior, in my opinion. That's reckless behavior. It's dangerous, and I don't care what anybody says. That is not what you want from your rookie quarterback.
Yeah, I think it's just knowing the plays. He's just a lot more confident, being able to have them reps during OTAs, during minicamp. Now during camp, it just comes natural to him, so he's a lot more confident out there for sure.
You won't believe what just happened in Cleveland. Kay Cabot, the same reporter who absolutely destroyed Shedeur Sanders over that speeding incident just months ago, has completely flipped the script. She's now praising him like never before. And what she revealed about his first team reps will shock you. This isn't just another training camp story. This is the moment everything changed for Shedeur Sanders. And I'm about to show you exactly why even his harshest critics can't ignore what's happening right now. Stick around, because what Miles Garrett said about Shedeur going toe-to-toe with anyone in the league will give you chills. What's happening, football fans? If you've been following Shedeur Sanders' journey into the NFL, you know it's been anything but smooth sailing. From the moment he declared for the draft, critics have been waiting for him to fail. They questioned his arm strength, his decision-making, and whether he could handle the pressure of professional football. But something extraordinary is happening in Cleveland right now that's forcing everyone, including his biggest doubters, to take notice. Today, we're diving deep into the most significant development in Shedeur's young NFL career. We'll explore how he's not just earning first-team reps but dominating them. We'll examine the complete 180-degree turn from Kay Cabot, one of his harshest critics, and what that really means for his future. Plus, I'll share exclusive insights from teammates like Jerry Jeudy and defensive superstar Miles Garrett that will completely change how you view Shedeur's NFL potential. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this young quarterback might be the most underestimated player in the league right now. Let me paint you a picture of what happened during that pivotal training camp session that has everyone talking. Picture this. It's a sweltering afternoon in Cleveland, the kind of day where the heat rises off the practice field in waves. The first team offense is running plays against the Browns' elite defense, guys who've been making quarterbacks look foolish for years. And there's Shedeur Sanders, the rookie who many still see as just Dion's son, stepping into the huddle with the confidence of a 10-year veteran. What happened next was nothing short of remarkable. Kay Cabot, who has covered the Browns for decades and has seen countless quarterbacks come and go, watched as Shedeur completed 2 out of 3 passes against what she called some of the best defenders in the NFL. But here's what makes this so significant. These weren't garbage time throws or simple checkdowns. These were legitimate NFL caliber passes under pressure, with defenders who were trying to make him look bad. Think about the psychology of this moment. Every defensive player on that field knew who Shedeur was. They knew the criticism he'd faced, the doubts about his ability to translate his college success to the professional level. They were coming for him, trying to welcome him to the NFL in the most brutal way possible, and instead of wilting under that pressure, Shedeur thrived. Cabot's reaction tells us everything we need to know about how unexpected this performance was. Remember, this is a reporter who has built her reputation on being brutally honest about player evaluations. She doesn't hand out praise lightly, especially to rookies who haven't proven anything yet. When she says Shedeur got rewarded for working really, really hard, she's acknowledging something that goes beyond natural talent. She's recognizing the kind of work ethic that separates good players from great ones. But what really caught my attention was how she described the moment. She called it a little nugget, but her tone suggested it was anything but small. This was a breakthrough moment, the kind of practice session that can define a player's trajectory. The fact that he finished strong, completing those final 2 passes when the pressure was at its highest, shows the kind of mental toughness that you simply can't teach. The timing of this performance couldn't be more crucial. We're talking about a 4-way quarterback competition where every representative matters, every throw is being evaluated, and every mistake is magnified. For Shedeur to not just hold his own but to excel in this environment speaks to something special brewing in Cleveland. This wasn't luck or a fluke. This was the result of countless hours of preparation, film study, and the kind of dedication that his father Dion instilled in him from day one. What makes this even more impressive is the context. These defensive players weren't going easy on the rookie. They were testing him, pushing him, trying to see if he would crack under NFL pressure. Instead, Shedeur showed them and everyone watching that he belongs on that field with the best players in the world. Now here's where the story gets really interesting, and it's something that goes far beyond what happens between the lines. Kay Cabot didn't just praise Shedeur's arm talent, she went out of her way to highlight something that might be even more important: his character. And coming from someone who previously questioned his judgment and maturity, this is absolutely massive. Let me tell you about a moment that perfectly encapsulates who Shedeur Sanders is becoming as a professional. Picture the scene. It's media day at the Browns facility. Cameras are rolling, reporters are gathering, and there's the usual controlled chaos that comes with NFL media obligations. Shedeur is scheduled to speak at one podium while linebacker Jerome Baker is finishing up his session at another nearby podium. Here's what happened next and why it matters so much. As Shedeur approached his designated podium with 2 PR staff members, he noticed that people were starting to drift away from Baker's session, drawn by the curiosity and buzz surrounding the rookie quarterback. In that moment, Shedeur had a choice. He could have continued to his podium, taken advantage of the attention, and started his media session as planned. After all, that's what his schedule called for, and no one would have questioned it. Instead, Shedeur stopped. He turned to the PR staff and said something that Kay Cabot will never forget. "I'm not going until Jerome is done." This wasn't a calculated PR move. There were no cameras focused on him at that moment. No reporters taking notes of his gesture. This was pure character in action. The kind of respect for teammates that you can't fake and can't teach. Cabot was so struck by this moment that she tweeted about it in real time. But what she emphasized later was crucial. He didn't do it for the cameras. He didn't do it for show. "I just so happened to catch it out of the corner of my eye." This is the kind of authentic leadership that veteran players notice and respect. In a league where ego often dominates headlines and young players are constantly seeking attention, Shedeur's quiet respect stood out like a beacon. Think about what this gesture communicates to his teammates. It says that he understands hierarchy, that he respects the veterans who have earned their place in the league, and that he's not trying to overshadow anyone. Jerome Baker, a seasoned linebacker who has been in the league for years, deserved his moment with the media, and Shedeur made sure he got it. This is the kind of maturity that builds trust in a locker room. NFL veterans have seen countless rookies come through the doors with talent, but without the character to back it up. They've watched promising careers derail because players couldn't handle success or didn't understand what it means to be a professional. When they see a rookie like Shedeur showing this level of awareness and respect, it changes how they view him. Jerry Jeudy's praise of Shedeur takes on even more meaning in this context. When Jeudy talks about Shedeur's confidence and improvement, he's not just talking about throwing mechanics or play recognition, he's talking about a player who has earned the right to be confident through his work ethic and character. When Miles Garrett speaks about a quarterback, the entire NFL listens. This isn't just any defensive player offering his opinion. This is arguably the most dominant pass rusher in the game today, a player who's made elite quarterbacks look ordinary on countless Sundays. So when Garrett says that Shedeur Sanders can go toe-to-toe with anyone in the league, those words carry the weight of someone who has faced the absolute best. Let's break down what Garrett's endorsement really means. As a defensive end, Garrett's job is to disrupt quarterbacks, to make them uncomfortable, to force them into mistakes. He's faced Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Josh Allen, and every other elite quarterback in the league. He knows what separates the good from the great, what makes a quarterback truly dangerous. When he looks at Shedeur in practice and sees someone who can compete at that level, it's not casual praise, it's a professional assessment from someone who knows exactly what he's talking about. But here's what makes this endorsement even more significant. It's coming during training camp, when the pressure is at its lowest and the stakes are relatively small. Garrett isn't being influenced by game-winning drives or playoff performances. He's evaluating pure talent, decision-making under pressure, and the intangible qualities that make quarterbacks successful. The fact that he's already convinced of Shedeur's ability to compete with the league's elite speaks volumes about what he's seeing in practice. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Kay Cabot's complete transformation in how she covers Shedeur Sanders. This is the same reporter who, just months ago, was highlighting every detail of his speeding incident with the intensity of an investigative journalist. She didn't just report the facts. She emphasized the timing, 12:45 a.m., and the speed, 41 miles per hour over the limit, and even suggested he was racing another driver. Her coverage was relentless, painting a picture of a young man with questionable judgment and reckless behavior. Cabot questioned whether Shedeur had the maturity to handle the responsibility of being an NFL quarterback. She suggested that incidents like this could put his roster spot in jeopardy, especially in a competitive quarterback room. Her criticism wasn't just about the speeding, it was about what that behavior represented in terms of his character and decision-making. Fast forward to today, and we're seeing a completely different narrative from the same reporter. Cabot is now praising Shedeur's maturity, his respect for teammates, and his professional approach to the game. This isn't just a slight shift in tone, this is a complete 180-degree turn from someone who rarely changes her opinion about players. What does this transformation tell us? It suggests that Shedeur's growth has been so dramatic, so undeniable, that even his harshest critics can't ignore it. When a reporter who built her reputation on being tough and uncompromising starts praising a player she previously criticized, it's a clear sign that something fundamental has changed. This shift in perception isn't happening in a vacuum. It's the result of consistent behavior, professional growth, and the kind of day-to-day excellence that gradually changes minds and builds respect. Behind every great success story, there's usually a foundation of discipline, hard work, and unwavering standards. In Shedeur Sanders' case, that foundation was built by one of the most competitive athletes in sports history, his father, Deion Sanders. But this isn't just a story about nepotism or family connections. This is about how championship-level expectations and accountability can shape a young man into a professional athlete. Deion Sanders didn't just coach his son, he molded him with the kind of tough love and non-negotiable standards that most young athletes never experience. From the time Shedeur could hold a football, he was being held to a standard that went far beyond what was expected of his peers. While other kids were getting participation trophies, Shedeur was learning that excellence wasn't optional, it was the baseline. Think about what this means in the context of his current success. When Shedeur steps into an NFL practice facility, he's not intimidated by the intensity or the pressure because he's been living with championship-level expectations his entire life. The work ethic that Kay Cabot is now praising didn't develop overnight. It's the product of years of conditioning under one of the most demanding coaches in football. But here's what makes Deion's influence even more significant. He understood that talent alone wouldn't be enough. He knew that his son would face skepticism, that people would question whether his success was earned or given. So he made sure that Shedeur would be over-prepared for every challenge, that his work ethic would be unquestionable, and that his character would speak for itself. The respect for teammates that we saw in the Jerome Baker incident, That's not accidental. That's the result of being taught from a young age that success is about more than individual achievement. It's about lifting up everyone around you. The confidence that Jerry Jeudy is praising, that comes from knowing that you've put in the work, that you've earned your place, and that you can compete with anyone. What we're seeing now in Cleveland is the culmination of years of preparation. Shedeur isn't just trying to make the team, he's trying to lead it. And the foundation that Dion built is allowing him to handle that pressure with a maturity that's shocking for someone his age. The transformation in how he's being perceived isn't just about his improved play, it's about the consistency of his approach. Day after day, practice after practice, he's showing up with the same level of preparation and professionalism. That's not something you can fake or maintain without a deep-rooted commitment to excellence. Miles Garrett's endorsement becomes even more meaningful when you consider this context. Garrett isn't just seeing a talented quarterback, he's seeing someone who approaches the game with the kind of seriousness and preparation that championship players recognize and respect. The fact that this respect is being earned in practice, away from the cameras and crowds, makes it even more authentic. This is what separates good players from great ones. The ability to maintain championship-level standards even when no one is watching. So here we are, witnessing something truly special unfold in Cleveland. Shedeur Sanders isn't just surviving his transition to the NFL, he's thriving in ways that are forcing even his harshest critics to take notice. From Kay Cabot's complete transformation in how she covers him, to Miles Garrett's confident endorsement, to the respect he's earning from teammates like Jerry Jeudy, all the signs point to something extraordinary happening. But this isn't just about one player's success story. This is about what happens when talent meets preparation, when character matches ability, and when years of championship-level conditioning finally pay off on the biggest stage. Shedeur Sanders is proving that he's not just Dion's son or a college standout, he's becoming a legitimate NFL quarterback who can compete with anyone in the league. The journey from being criticized for a speeding incident to being praised for his maturity and professionalism shows the kind of growth that separates good players from great ones. And if his current trajectory continues, that starting role in Cleveland might not be a matter of if, but when. What do you think about Shedeur's incredible transformation? Has he earned the respect and praise he's receiving, or do you think it's still too early to tell? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one and love hearing your perspectives on these developing stories. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Shedeur Sanders' rise, make sure you're subscribed, because I've got more exclusive content coming about the most underestimated players in the NFL right now. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the action, and I'll see you in the next video, where we'll be breaking down even more surprising developments from training camps across the league.